window. This that doesn't do much. Turn this sucker down. Bing, 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 bing. Live. Am I live? We don't really know anymore, do we? Looks like we're live. Is anybody in here? 6 watching. Wow. This must be a hot topic. All right, I'm getting my windows here straightened out so maybe I can have something interesting for y'all to look at. Maybe we can talk about some of these topics. I wanted to do like I've been wanting to do like a news show for a while, just kind of topical, what's going on in the motorcycle world. But hey, what's up, Salty Badger? Good evening. Oh, come on, not you too. I think it's funny. I want to talk about it because I think it's funny. Um, I mean, uh, surely everybody else is talking about it because it's interesting, and you got these kids. This is what blew me away. I was like, man, I wonder if I should bring that up in a live stream. And then I started seeing all these videos, like, holy crap, everybody's talking about this. And I don't know, it just seems really bizarre. Let's talk about what companies aren't using. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the companies that aren't being idiots. Well, the only one I can think of is Tesla and SpaceX, but and X. Yeah, let's talk about the companies that aren't using DEI. Well, I think it's less of a I think it's less of an issue of who's actually what's going on in the companies themselves versus what are they saying publicly, because I think that's where the outrage is coming from. At least that's kind of what I've read and seen uh, folks talking about is the Bud Light thing is, you got this trans kid, this boy that wants some attention. He's not getting enough, and so he decides he wants to become a woman, and and then Bud Light sponsors him. To me, it's kind of like you should be very careful about the public face of your company. I don't know, just kind of here I am being the public face of this YouTube channel, and a lot of times I don't care, but it's just me. It's kind of like I'm not representing. I am not. I don't have a fiduciary responsibility to my stockholders, so so uh, yeah, that's I guess that's the big difference between me and everybody else. Well, corporations, you have a freaking fiduciary responsibility to your stockholders. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna while everybody's sitting in here watching, let's take a look at some of this footage. This is amazing. This guy, I didn't watch the whole video. I just I I'm sorry. I'm having trouble managing Windows. What's up, Brian? Harley made a bolder move than Bud Light in the aftermath. The woke moving production. Oh yeah. Well, so they've been doing some tricky stuff like that for a while, and I know that they're shedding customers. At least I know that a lot of my friends have gotten rid of their Harleys just because of, well, displeasure in the way they're treated, displeasure in the performance of their motorcycles, not really getting what they thought they were paying for, or just looking around and go, wow, everything else is better than a Harley, which that's going to piss a lot of the Harley folks off. But you know, when it comes down to it, what does Harley have really if it's not brand, if it's not that badge and um, that, what do you call it? The street cred you get from riding a Harley. I mean, I like Harleys just fine. They are what they are. They've tried a few times to step out of that little small bubble of heritage and um, just a big V twin thing, and they've always got punched in the face for doing that. So, I mean, I can understand why they're doing some of the stuff that they're doing, but I don't know. I don't understand this DEI stuff, especially their customer base. Kind of like Bud Light. I mean, Bud Light's probably got much wider range of customers than Harley does. Harley is American, strength, masculinity, and you start putting this shit on the hardcore customer base. They're just not going to put up with it. Let me play you this. Let me play you this clip here, because this is what turned the tide here. I was like, oh, yeah, this is this guy this guy just destroys what looks like a pretty nice bike before he started putting holes in it. I'll be right back. Here, let me play some of the carnage. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is this is Americana too. You're putting lead uh, into a machine and showing your displeasure. I saw a video this morning. The guy was okay. Just so y'all know, he rides this machine in there. I think he's been very proud to ride this. Oh, there he is, riding in there with his buddy, and yeah, there he is. It's not like this machine is something that, I don't know. It looks like a much older. I'm not a Harley guy. I don't know those models. Yeah, this thing's a lot older than I was thinking it was. What is that? Like 80s, 90s model? There we go. Oh, there's another one. There was something in the Harley has just been flooding my feed today, and one of the things this morning I was trying to say is they just lost a huge lawsuit with their trikes, like 280 million dollars. This girl got killed on a trike. Um, Something about the traction control system locking one of the wheels up and put. This is what I've got. Yeah, that thing's old and worn out. Wonder what he's saying. Let's listen to what he's saying.
Harley Davidson. This thing is history, and it just screams America. I used to ride a motorcycle years ago. I've been so busy with my fence company, and I recently bought a Harley because I was going to get into riding again, and then I found out the unthinkable. I mean, literally, a year ago, Ford went woke and put out a video, and I made a video about that, and it made me sick because Ford is also an American company, but now Harley did it too. Ford redeemed themselves, though. They actually bought a Navy SEAL, a Ford Raptor, which is awesome. That's the kind of stuff we need to do. Take care of our veterans. Take care of our police department. Take care of people that are Americans. Not worry about this stupid woke shit. So for all you people...
I was just saying, I just realized I had my microphone off. This is my first reaction video too, but yeah, no, I was watching this morning. Let's go back to shooting motorcycles. I mean, he's got some pretty badass guns too. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, well, I'm thinking that's a $3,000, $4,000 motorcycle. Y'all correct me. That thing looks kind of worn out. It's not well kept. I'm thinking that's something from the '80s. It looks like an old Evo to me. Um, but yeah, I'm not really a Harley guy, so I can't tell. DEI, diversity, equality, inclusion. Yes. I remember AMF too. I think that's where all the bad blood, um, all the hatred of Harley came from. Is that those AMF days? Yeah, their quality just sucked. All the motorcycles they were putting out sucked, and I think a lot of people that dislike Harley, that's kind of where that image came from is those AMF days. But then Reagan stepped in and saved them from the Japanese, the invasion. There is no bike better than a Harley. I just assume all others are gay. Harley owners can't step away from the brand. The others don't have the clothes to support them. Willie G turned it around. A reel by Trans Dylan with a beer, and he turned it into a marketing campaign for himself by blowing up some cases. Next thing you know, Kid Rock selling albums. It's rage marketing. That's good stuff, man. You see him humming, "My name is Kid Rock," while doing that. Early '90s models blowing money away. Yeah, already spent his no effect on the. Yeah, and that's no. What I was going to say this morning is I saw a guy that his he had a really nice Harley. It looked nice, blue, and he put blue tape over all the emblems and an American flag on top of the blue tape. So I don't know. I don't know that this is going to affect Harley sales. The people that really want a Harley are going to buy a Harley. Um, but I wonder if it's just going to make people think, especially the whole, was it Thailand? They're moving production to Thailand. There's all kinds of stuff that they're, I don't know. I think they're making some huge mistakes for what they're charging for their motorcycles. I think they should be able to go back and start making premium motorcycles in America again. I can't imagine that you can't make a profit making motorcycles in America with what they charge. It's a premium motorcycle. How the hell? What the hell's he doing here? Oh, that's tannerite, I guess. Yeah, or gasoline. What I'm not really. Yeah, that looks more like gasoline. Good stuff. I wished I could share the volume too, but we'll just. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's some kind of a fuel going up there. It's really nice effects. They spent some time planning this out. Anyway, yeah, everybody's making a big deal out of it. I'm just getting in on it because I'm sitting around, nothing else to do. This is going to be my thing. I think I'm going to start live streaming 3 times a week. I got my lights, my shadows. I don't know what's going on with my shadows. Let's see if I can turn this up a little bit. I had this thing nailed the other day. Huh. I thought I had it nailed anyway. Let's turn this down, see what that does. Yeah, that makes it worse. Uh, Shadow's getting smaller. Yeah. Uh, Agent provocateur, the second oldest profession on earth. Less respectable than the oldest. Yeah. 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 I've called myself provocateur many times. People used to call me troll, and I would give that title to Brian, but um golly, they scorched that thing. Holy crap. He's gonna hang that on a wall somewhere. uh, yeah, that could be. You could say this is Bonnie and Clyde's motorcycle. This is when the first time they came after him and they rode it out. They had a few holes in them too. Harleys are almost all altered and have factory parts removed. Yeah. Well, I think that's the other thing. Um, to get the performance out of your motorcycle, you've got to modify it so much. Suspension, every check that guy out. I mean, I don't think it's unusual for people to well-fed American. That's great, man. What are the mounds in the background? Let me see if I can find some other videos here. There's some interesting things out there. Let me see. What did I search for? Harley Davidson going woke. Yeah, it shouldn't be hard to find. I ran through a couple of things. It's like, what the heck is going on? Really? Here's a guy's. I'm not sure. Let me do this one. He was talking about boycotting Harley will backfire on you. I just think that's interesting. An interesting take on it. Like there you go. Let's listen to this guy for a bit while I catch up on the chats.
Out. Of course, it's a lot more complicated than that. The woke policies are actually political and social design policies. Personally, I think they overreach into people's lives, but there's actually a more sinister program behind it all, and that's what we're going to get into. First, before I reveal the secrets of the world, we need to reveal the secrets of today's sponsor. That's Resurgence Gear motorcycle clothing. You saw the video of the brave soul being dragged mercilessly behind a car in order to test the Resurgence Gear jeans. Now, the denim wore through, but the secret layer of Pekev, a Kevlar-like material, it's exclusive to Resurgence Gear clothing. Davidson's case. Davidson boycott to impact the comprehension, nothing, everything, all over the world. I'm not making this up. It's on the public record, and I've seen the organisational chart that shows the reach that these companies have, and they literally own a part of everything.
So, I have an idea.
Beyond comprehension, nothing.
Why don't we just ask people what they want?
A slice of Harley Davidson is like you buying a T-shirt at the next rally. If something happens to one of your T-shirts, even if it's your favourite, you might say, "Oh, I really like
Check this out.
But you've got plenty of others. You can't hurt them financially, and their behind-the-scenes agenda is to change the fabric of society for the.
Yeah, I need to get set up on get this audio set up so so I can listen to what's going on in the on the screen while you guys listen to it. I can't do both because runs feedback, a loop through the microphones. I'll figure that out sooner or later, but I'm going to try to find the guy that taped up his all his emblems. I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm not destroying my motorcycle, but I'm not riding around promoting it. I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that Sturgis, I saw a few images, some videos from Sturgis where the Harley tent was just completely vacant, other than a few people that probably either didn't care about the boycott or didn't know about it. I imagine, golly, you go to, I don't know if anybody's been to Sturgis, but you go there and it's 85, 90% Harleys. I was shocked at how many Harley trikes were there last year. Sales dropped more than 40% after the company announced the initiatives. Don't believe they thought this. No, I don't think anybody really thinks it through. I think they get a bunch of woke CEOs or some diversity officer hire comes in and tells them what they need to do to be compliant, to be acceptable in today's climate. I mean, we got a freaking chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the military chairman of our U.S. military, that is about as woke as you get, and that to me is just terrifying. I don't care about the corporation. I don't care if these stupid companies live or die. But America, this corporation needs to keep going. I live here, and to hear this guy get in front. I can't remember. He's testifying in front of Congress and talking about he doesn't understand his white rage, white guilt. Just kind of, it's just awful, awful. Audio is all over the place. Sorry about that, y'all. How did you how did your appointment go for the prosthetic? Uh Not as good as I expected. I was expecting the worst. The worst is basically you're not ready. And here's he gave me basically, I've been wearing these knee socks, I call them, but he gave me a liner for my prosthetic and gave me another appointment for next week. Hopefully next week I will get fitted. My stump is not developed into the right place. It's supposed to be cone shaped, and it still looks like a big fat, looks like a fish. It's got dog ears, so when they do the surgery, um, the folds over. It's got, well, one side's a lot smaller than the other, but I've still got a dog ear on this side, and it's not really appropriate to be walking around. Apparently, it's supposed to be cone shaped, and I haven't been wearing my shrinker because of the pain. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't go 8 hours a day is about all I could do. And I was supposed to be sleeping with him, but for the last couple of weeks, I've been really on it. That's why I was like, man, let's get this thing on. I'm ready. And yeah, it's not as good as I'd hope, but rear brakes should be easy with a prosthetic. Yeah, coming from somebody that doesn't have a Six Semper Tyre. I'm having trouble reading these names on here. Rear brakes with a prosthetic. Well, I rode with Richard last year, and he seemed to have a hard time with his rear brake. We modified it before we left, and he got in a couple of smashed motorcycle. I think he smashed his motorcycle on a rock, and a little adapter to keep to move the pedal up. So if you don't know, um, prosthetics don't have an ankle, and you don't have any feeling in your foot, and that's probably going to be the biggest problem with me. I know it seemed to be the biggest problem with Richard is you don't have feeling in your foot, and you don't have an ankle. So, and I think I can overcome the ankle thing just by moving my hip forward. Just moving my leg forward and kind of shifting the angle of my foot. I think I could probably handle most of that, but I don't have any feeling, so I'd have to go completely. There's no feeling. I can't tell how much pressure I'm putting, unless I'm feeling it in my knee. So anyway, what they say or not saying, the amount of people in Milwaukee for homecoming right in the midst of woke news. Yeah, all about competing in the world market. Well, I mean, if that's true, what I don't think that's true for Harley. I don't know the exact numbers, but I guarantee you their sales in America probably constitute 70-80% of their market share. It proved me wrong. I mean, I would love to think that they're selling all over the world and they're getting as good a money in Europe and Asia as they are. I just don't think that's true. I think it's a premium brand, and I think the people that buy Harleys want the premium motorcycle. They want the Range Rover. That's what they want. They want that. I don't know what to call it, a luxury, but I guess it is. I guess most of their not only premium, but they are luxury brands. Someone's already mentioned it, but have you seen Mike Balls? No, I have not. I hope I haven't missed any of the chats. Let me dig up another video here. There's so much good stuff. Is Harley Davidson going woke? Oh wow, I'm finally getting a Trump ad. I've been getting nothing but Kamala Harris ads on my videos. Oh crap. Let's dump this over there while I'm looking. Yeah, this guy had something interesting to say. I'm trying to remember the main story he was given. Let me dig up some more stuff here. trying to find the guy that was putting tape on his badges. I thought that was pretty interesting. And then here, of course, the $240 million judgment they slapped on him. Here's a guy talking about time to buy an Indian. Harley went woke. Why do you care? Will Harley Davidson go broke? Maybe. I don't know, man. If you're making huge mistakes like this, they've got some problems with their leadership. I would say the CEO is probably on his way out just because, yeah, I don't know. Stockholders are going to look at that and go, what do we represent here? Some serious bad news. I can't find the guy that's putting stickers on his motorcycle. I think that was the most interesting. I'm not gonna ruin my bike, but I'm gonna make sure that nobody sees that I'm riding this bike. I wonder if it really affects anybody besides Brian, and what they think about that machine that they're riding. I wonder if does anybody riding a Harley now that's going, man, this makes me sick. I would like to hear from anybody that's going, this really pisses me off. I spent a lot of good money on this motorcycle and now I'm ashamed to ride it. That would be interesting. Don, be careful with the big W talk or you'll get canceled like Scotty. Big W? I don't know what W is. Tyler. So, Mike Balls, that's great. Harleys, especially old ones, are highly desirable overseas. Folks are shipping them out. Well, I know Japan has a huge market for the old stuff, but I mean they've got a pretty big chopper scene over there, so I'm not so sure that Japan is big into the. I don't know. I don't know. I would guess anybody with money is gonna want to get the premium stuff. I remember that day when I first started making some money. I was like, man, let me show this off. Let me get some bling. Let me get some fancy wheels. And yeah, I never got into the whole clothes thing because I'm not fashionable. But yeah, it's like, hey, look at me. I got the premium stuff, baby. I'm moving on up. Ride old Harleys. It's been up and down. I feel the same way, but I think something like this, where they're just really sticking it into the heart of their consumers, I think this could backfire on them bigly. Just because, I mean, I don't think the CEO understands his customer demographics at all, especially in America. And if somebody comes up with that stat that says, hey, only 20% of the motorcycle sales or in America, I would be shocked. I would be shocked if it was less than 50%. I just know how many Harleys I see on the road here. It's unbelievable. Somebody said earlier in the chat, not too many people would buy Harleys. I can't remember what the Harley owners can't step on. I can't remember what it was, but it was something. It was something like yeah, there it is. Yeah, most folks. This is Brian Gibbs. Most folks wouldn't ride Harleys. Too outlawish. Then everyone wanted to put on black leathers. Okay, I didn't read the chat earlier. I completely agree with that. At least when I was growing up, maybe 20%, 30% of the motorcycles I saw on the road were Harleys, and it was usually the more outlawish guys, or at least I would say working class guys. Blue collar, hard-working American men, not typically young guys. All the young guys are riding sport bikes back then, and then something changed in the '90s where everybody had to have a Harley, and I was a witness to that. And I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, Harleys have really exploded, and then it became this little, what do you call it? Class warfare thing, kind of. kind of, if you weren't riding a Harley, you weren't shitting. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? And, American or die, all that bullshit. I'm thinking all that came from the dealer where, it's like, you're looking at one of them Kawasaki's. Well, yeah, fuck that. Japanese rice burner, blah, blah, blah. I never really understood where that came from, but that's the only thing that I can imagine where it came from is the dealerships are going, yeah, make them terrified. If they're coming into the dealership, make them terrified to go buy anything else other than an American motorcycle. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. But yeah, somebody find me some statistics and tell me that most motorcycles are sold overseas. I don't think so. This looks like Jerry Palladino. It sure is. How about that? This guy's a legend. He's been teaching you how to ride like a pro for decades now. And I was inspired to do the Gymkhana thing from this guy. Just watching him go, oh yeah, look, I can do this on a motorcycle and you can too. It was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, here's a much better. Well, no, that's the same one we were looking at earlier. And then here's Spite's Corner. Well, if you get any of you guys watch him, he was doing the Yami Noob thing, and then all of a sudden, he just decided he's going to do his own thing, which I thought was pretty cool. He actually got outside and rode motorcycles on Yami Noob, and anybody know what happened there? I thought that was kind of interesting. He was a interesting breath of fresh air to Yami Noob's channel. And I don't usually watch Yami Noob, but I think I watched him one time. I was like, oh, here's a new guy on here. They're doing. Well, I don't know what happened there. I just went from green to red. So I don't know if anybody's still here. Evening. What's up, Scramble North? Most folks wouldn't ride Harleys too. I'm way behind. Harley electric ride my storage. Huge Harley fan. I'm okay. Most of my bikes identify as choppers. That's awesome, Salty. There's a YouTuber I watch selling his HD has been looking at Honda. He didn't say why though. Man, I tell you, I've had a lot of friends lately get rid of their Harley. I think it's kind of a revolution maybe that's coming. I don't know, all these old Harley guys, you've been riding Harleys for 30 years. That's your identity, man. That's all. What are you going to do? Big W is woke talk. Oh yeah, I'm not worried about little things. I think Scott, I listened to Scotty before he got canceled. He just kept pushing the boundaries, man. I think I actually said something to him. I was like, man, you keep getting dinged, they're going to yank you. They don't care. He was talking about shots. He was talking about vaccines. He was talking all kinds of crazy stuff. I hate it. I hate he had 50,000-60,000 subscribers when he got canned. And he's backed way off on his new channel, so good for him, but he's got that he's got the same proclivities I do. It's like, I'm going to tell you the truth, or at least the truth, what I know of the truth. Saving the sale when the market is good. Guess he'll wait. Yeah. Yeah, there's a Harley in the basement here. My brother in Hawaii brought over. I told him I'd sell it for him if I could ride it first. So sneak peek, that's probably going to be the first motorcycle you see me on. It's an old what is it, Nightster, one of those Sportster things they tried to do. I've ridden it before. It's fun to ride. It's ridiculously loud, but it's fun to ride. It's a Harley. Shoot, I'm thinking 70s maybe. The Village People Leatherman had no effect. The Village People's Leatherman had no effect on Harley riders in the 70s, but there was no internet influence either. Leatherman. I didn't know that's what they called him. Yeah, they had the Navy guy, the Indian guy, and yeah, I don't know, man. That leather dude, that's pretty gay. I mean, that's like 50s. Okay, it was the 70s, but he was wearing like 50s stuff. Didn't he have like assless chaps on too? Lag spike is all. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened to the internet. It just went still here. Wanted a Triumph, but the my Harley literally fell in my. Oh yeah, I hear you. Hey man, I don't have anything against the bikes. I have a problem. Like I've said this many years now. It's not the bikes I have a problem with. It's the culture. It's the attitude. I don't really appreciate some people. It's like there's one motorcycle. Really, really. It's like I like the motorcycles. Actually, there's one motorcycle that I rode I did not like. I rode a Sportster in Hawaii, and I thought, hey, this is kind of a cool bike. If this guy gives it up for the right price, he didn't want to sell it, but he was too old to ride it, and I went and picked it up at the dealership after he had it serviced. And God, that thing! I think that was a late '70s, mid '80s Sportster. Dude, that thing, I mean, it just shook. I think that's before they started putting the rubber mounts on the engines. It's just miserable. And I'd like to say there's something cool about riding that bike, but there wasn't. There wasn't anything cool about it. Um, just loud, obnoxious, and painful to ride. It wasn't fun to ride. I mean, that's the number one thing for me. It's got to be fun. And I'm starting to get to the point where bigger is not fun. I want a light, small bike like that guy's riding right there. Is that a Harley? That's one of those Thailand bikes, I guess. Let's get off a spite here before I get dinged. I'm gonna get dinged, man. I don't want to get dinged. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to do a quick stream because having a lot of fun with these streams, man. DEI controversy. Yeah, I think a lot of people at the factory are kind of upset that they're doing the hiring thing where um, you got to hire the appropriate ratio of women and gays and blacks and whatever underprivileged group they decide that they want. They've got to hire those guys. So and that's probably what happened with their CEO. It's like, oh yeah, we gotta have a woke CEO so we fit into the whole approved woke agenda. Globalism. I used to laugh at that term. Now I don't laugh at it anymore. Like, yeah, it's pretty obvious what's going on in the world, especially with these big corporations. It's kind of scary. And I think the only way to take back the narrative, at least in this country, is vote with your pocket, vote with your feet. Don't support the brands, the companies that do the stupid woke shit, and punish them, punish them. And I'm not about uh, cancel culture. I don't believe in cancel culture, but yet, why would you support some company that is directly opposed to your values? I'm not gonna. I've drank plenty of Bud Light in my years, but I won't drink anymore because it's really easy to go. Bud Light tastes just like all the other freaking stupid American beers. Why would I buy them? I can send a signal. I don't know what this guy's chamber statements on transgender. Yeah, I think that's the thing that's bugging most people is the whole we're going to cut your children's genitals off without your knowledge. Or hell, with your knowledge. We're going to cut your 8-year-old daughter's ovaries out. Nah. But yeah, like somebody said earlier, I probably shouldn't be talking about the W thing. There he is. That was the CEO. He's not from America. And that is an American brand. I would think that would be the number one thing is, are you American? Do you ride a Harley? do you understand Harley culture at all? Do you understand your customer base? If you don't, you can't run this company. I think that's where they should start. Where's Willie G? Is he dead? Bring back Willie G. Not all production. On Harley, and we're the only bikes you could seen broken down on the side of the road. Rice burners took over because they were reliable and cheaper. Yeah. Can't argue with that. Pan American moving production to Thailand. Well, I could probably tell you that the only people that really care about where Harley is made is probably Americans. Do you think some European that wants to buy a Pan American cares where it's built? I don't know. I mean, you could teach monkeys to put motorcycles together. Go visit one of those Chinese factories. Like, it's pretty obvious. I mean, they don't put them together very well. They don't have really good standards as far as manufacturing goes. But Coors and cheap whiskey for me. Just bought some cheap whiskey today, Brian. Just some models, most of which are doing better in overseas market anyhow. What Japanese cruiser would you get? Psh, none. I'm not a cruiser guy. I had a Japanese cruiser. I had what the hell was it? I had a Suzuki. What was that? It was a pretty big bike. 1200, 1300, something like that. I bought it new. It didn't get 50,000 miles out of it. The freaking transmission came apart. I was like, screw this, man. When I got it, I think I was I was doing my little midlife crisis thing. And I'm like, man, I need to get rid of all these sport bikes. I need to stop going fast. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a slow old man's bike. So I went to the BMW dealership. I looked at their big, slow machines. And I was looking, I can't remember what it was. It was a 1200R, I think I was looking at, one of the old school boxers. And I went and looked at Harleys, and then I went and looked at this Suzuki. I was like, man, I can walk out of here today. I can pay cash for this fucker. And that's what I did. And I was like, yeah, this is kind of cool. And I rode it. I probably put 10, 15,000 miles on it. And then I was like, man, I can't go very far on it. It's just not the seating position. Although I have gotten to this argument with so many people, I don't like the cruiser seating position. It's great for around town, but if you want to put 500, 600, 700 miles a day on, which I like to do, or at least I used to, that sucks on a cruiser. I don't know how people do it. The people that do it, I don't see how they do it. I think they just adjust. I like to be able to get up on the pegs, get my ass up off the seat, get some air going to my freaking crotch. And it's almost impossible to do with forward control. So, yeah, I just kind of lost my taste for the cruiser style. I mean, it's great around town. Just poking around town, 40, 50, 100 miles, no problem. I think I've determined my range. I think it was like 150, 180 miles. It's like, I don't want to go any further than that on this damn bike. And I wound up selling it for nothing. I think I gave that thing away. I don't think I got $1,000 for that bike. It had transmission problems. I'm sure it was probably just a shift fork or something, but you had to take the engine out and split the case. I didn't want to do that. So somebody got a good deal on it. Anyway, I don't know if y'all got anything else to. People get so upset over this stuff. Well, I would say, I'm not a Harley guy, but I would say it's probably a feeling of betrayal. How could you do this? It's an American company. You're shipping jobs overseas. You're talking to me about things that really freaking offend me, and that are just plain old wrong. Yeah, I can see why people are pissed. I mean, it's politics, but it's it's like yeah. Don't care what people do with their lives, religion, sexual orientation, otherwise. Worship whatever God you want to and whatever you want to do in your business. I live my way. Yeah, that's cool, except when you start talking about teens and you start talking about uh, changing children's gender and the whole, well, I mean, you go diversity, equity, inclusion. What does that mean? That means you're choosing people based on their um, things that they were born with. You're choosing people based on their skin color, their hair color, their ethnicity, their gender identity. I don't know. That to me is just wrong. And I don't think I would probably give up uh, a cool bike because somebody's doing that. But it would definitely alter my purchasing decisions probably in the future. Just healing from a broken foot, falling on my Triumph Tiger off road. Yeah, don't fall. Don't fall, man. History proves bad ideas can grow into monsters. Yeah. 1150 RT. Yeah, cool, man. Car companies have been shipping jobs for years. Yeah, Harley's not the first to jump on this bandwagon. But if you built your company on the idea that it's American made, I think you're really screwing the pooch. I mean, if your brand identity is American, I don't know. I think they're making some huge mistakes. Huge mistakes. Well, not just that. They've been assembling motorcycles in the States for many years, but getting their components from overseas. So they've been doing that, I don't know, 15, 20 years. It was easier to deal with before someone left the damn closet door open. The whole thing just blows my mind, man. I could see you enjoy. Oh, dude, yeah, I used to like big bikes. I'm just not a big bike fan, man. I'm getting smaller and smaller. You're gonna see me on a freaking CT 125 sooner or later, just because they're. I don't know. I have no need to do triple digits anymore. Um, I was having fun that day. I crashed. I was doing 80 something. I would like to get up into the 80s, but with the right bike, I could change sprockets and I could do that no problem. But yeah, I just like smaller and lighter. Now that I'm a gimp, smaller and lighter is a big deal. I got to be able to pick my bike up. I want to be able to crash my bike in the woods and not have more parts broken off me because the big ass bike fell on top of me. And I want to be able to pick it up. And y'all can see I was struggling with that Tiger. Well, the times I struggled with the Tiger, well, I don't know, that last time in the woods, y'all saw that. It was upside down. When the bike's upside down, it's just, yeah. And I'm old. And I'm weak. I'm out of shape. I want a Honda Super Cub. I like those small bikes, man. They're a blast to ride. But the downside, Ricardo, as you've probably discovered, the downside of those small displacement bikes is sometimes you can't ride in the traffic that you want to ride into. Sometimes you can't just jump on the interstate and do 10 miles without getting run over. So T7 is like 450 pounds. It's not that heavy, is it? I rode it. It was great, man. As long as it's not loaded down, it's easy for me to pick up the T7. As long as it's not loaded down. Full tank of gas, loaded down, it's kind of a bitch. But so is everything else. Try picking up that freaking Tiger. That Tiger is 460. There's no way that T7 is 450. There's no way. Because my Tiger dry weight is 460. Man, that's a pig trying to pick that thing up. It's probably because that tank is so far up. Now you can get it automatic and put the brakes on the handlebars. Yeah, that's probably going to happen. Good chance. If I can't modify the rear brake. Yeah, everybody's wanting to get in on that. Get in on that mission, and I'm excited. I would love to have a motorcycle in the garage and invite everybody over and go, okay, boys, let's hear the ideas. Here's my ideas. And, I hop up on the bike and I go, here's what I'm thinking. And then everybody comes in, chimes in with their stuff and goes, hey, this is what we could do. It's like, really? Can we do that? I can't wait. GS500, absolutely love that bike. Lightweight, super low maintenance, sure. Enjoying small bikes, but you're right. They are limiting. But I think I like the idea of trailering to different areas and riding. I hate trailering. Although I'm actually thinking about doing the same thing. I'm thinking about getting a box. Because y'all probably know I've been living in a schoolie for a while. Maintaining a big diesel RV is not cheap. So I'm thinking about Plan B, which is getting a box, like a enclosed trailer, and converting that. Yeah, throwing the bike in the back. There's still more Harleys at gentlemen's clubs and the other bars. Yeah, there's more Harleys at bike nights too. When you made the quad ride video, I think you should do a stealth quad cam. That was not a quad, that was a trike. I can't remember what the hell that thing was called. I have had two cruiser style bikes, and it's hard on the ass to go home. Man, I mean, that's just what I found. Pretty much any standard motorcycle is better than you're rolling around town, you're laid back, you got your feet out there. That's all fine and good. I tried highway pegs, I've tried everything. I just got to get my ass up off the seat. That's what I mean, I've done so many 1,000-mile days. It's not even funny. And the only way I could have done that, the only way, is, yeah, every 10, 15 minutes, you just stand up on the pegs, get your ass up in the air, cool your balls off, cool your ass off, get some blood flowing, boom, back on the seat all day long. Well, not all day long. I don't like doing those iron butts anymore. They suck. They're not fun. How many people we got in here? I ask you. And how many people are riding a Harley? It seems like we got a pretty good, maybe closing on 30% in here tonight. I know more people that watch me. I would say it's probably close to half the people that watch me ride Harley. So I thought this would be an interesting topic. Kind of just want to see what y'all thought. Well, I think that's going to be it. Good hanging out with y'all. Maybe next time I'll put some thought into the topic and be a little bit more interesting.